in the context of the Cold War, around 900,000 of persons have been secretly observed by the authorities.
So we're talking about the Federal Act on Intelligence Services in Switzerland. What is the reason for this, and what should we change in the future?
So in September 2015, Swiss Parliament has passed a new law defining legal basis on the activities of the Swiss Intelligence Service. In few words, it's about secretly collecting and analyzing data in order to prevent acts of terrorism or attacks with weapons of mass destruction or espionage or sabotage of our strategic infrastructures, like power stations, for example. In order to do so, we need extended capacities. Extended capacities means, for example, monitoring of telecommunication network, use of bugs or drones, or hacking of IT systems. What does it mean? It means actions in the private sphere, not only in the public sphere, but as well in the private sphere, in a world which is almost fully interconnected. And it means as well, hopefully, less dependence towards intelligence services from foreign countries.
So a referendum has been called against a new law. What are the arguments for the supporters?
That's correct. More than 50,000 signatures have been collected within 100 days after the law adoption. That's the reason why we have had to vote about that topic. You're talking about the arguments. Opponents fear a kind of slippage in the application of this law by the intelligence service, which could potentially overstep its prerogatives or more or less disturb the initial purpose of the law, and this over time. Secondly, opponents think that the wide exploring of the telecommunication networks is similar to a massive surveillance, including emails, including phone calls, and of course, including people who are absolutely not terrorists or criminal, but just quiet persons. That would be excessive, of course. Finally, opponents worry about the transmission of personal data and record abroad. Transmission to foreign intelligence services in the framework of the international cooperation. But once again, those data and records may relate to quiet person and not to criminal.
So what was the result of this referendum, and can you explain it a bit more for us?
Almost 2/3 of the people have voted for the new act, which is a massive acceptation, really a massive acceptation. It's true, we could always imagine that officials can act a little bit like a fifth power in their interpretation and in the application of a legal base. And this without a real democratic legitimacy. But on the other hand, you will find very few people who seriously think that our intelligence services will have the resources and the willing to reduce our fundamental rights.
So what steps do we need to make to move forward?
Now, the new Act on Intelligence Service will definitely enter into force on the 1st of September 2017. In parallel, some points will be specified in several federal ordinances, and this according to the letter of the new law, but as well according to the spirit of the new law. Spirit is important as well. You can a little bit feel and understand the spirit of that new law by reading public documents like government reports or record of the parliament deliberations. For sure, former opponents will remain very attentive to potential misinterpretations in the applications of this law by the intelligence service. Why? Very simple. Because this law should increase our security, but should not reduce our freedom.
Thank you, Claude, for speaking with us today on this act.
Thank you, Kais, for inviting me.
And thank you at home for watching. Goodbye for now.